it's time for us to have all this JSON content come together in the creation of a more fully fledged piece of software. I've built a prototype for you that I'm going to spend a little bit of time in this video going over that helps show some of the fundamental ways we can integrate JSON in a more interesting and advanced program. And then you're going to take it and enhance, extend, and improve, and certainly make more interesting this piece of software using what you've learned and the other skills that you have gained along the way as well. So to start, I'm just going to press run on this game, and we will see that we have, there we go, now it's showing, welcome to the guessing game, no profiles found. Create a new profile. So I'm going to enter a username and a password, and now a profile is created, and it says it's my active profile. I'm going to right away exit, because what I want to show you is I now have this new JSON file that's been created that stores my username and password, and also as placeholders for some other stats that will kind of accumulate as we play the game and be updated in kind. All right, if I press run again, notice that the first time that I played, it said no profiles found. But now that I have a profile in this JSON file, it's able to say, hey, welcome. Do I want to create a new one or load an existing? So I could choose to and type in Scott and my password, and bam, my active profile is Scott. If I go to switch profiles, I can kind of do the same thing to load a different profile, but notice I don't actually have other profiles to load. So currently in the program, you have to exit it and enter back in if you want to be able to create a new profile. That's something you could improve if you'd like. So I'm going to create a profile called Alice ABC. Now my active profile is Alice. In the profiles JSON file, we shall see that we have two entries that are storing the different profiles that we have to work with here. So our active profile right now, and of course I could switch back to Scott by typing in the information and swap back and forth between those profiles, meaning that whatever one I have active will be referencing the relevant JSON entries when I perform actions in the game. Let's just test that out. Right now the game is very simple. I have to guess a number between 1 to 10 within 3 attempts. Let's guess 5. Guess higher, 7. Oh, it's 6 in the middle. All right, I got it right. So profile stats, 3. Lifetime wins. On my best score, I had 1 guess left. So not a very interesting high leaderboard, but hey, it's or high score. You can make a leaderboard if you want. Then not the most interesting one. Let's switch profiles back to Alice. And let's have Alice perform 2, 3, 4. I didn't even read the hints, but I meant to kind of fail on purpose so that I could see that Scott has 1 lifetime win and Alice has 1 lifetime loss. So you'll see that by playing the game, the stats automatically get updated and stored. And if I come back here and just exit the game and load back in, load a profile, ABC, if I look at the stats in the game, lifetime losses is been kept and stored, meaning that everything I do in this environment is going to be persistently stored for as many profiles as I want to build. And so you'll see that in the code I have a class for profiles that does all this stuff to update wins and losses and best score, that it's able to do this conversion of the stored object. Remember from our tutorials that when we serialize the object, it gets turned into a dictionary in the JSON, but when I deserialize it, I need to be able to return this back into an object. So this is part of that process of conversion, and this is how we kind of bring it back from the JSON file. So those helper things I've already built, and when you build your own custom features, you're going to kind of adjust and adapt these to fit the custom class structure that you build. My profile manager has lots of different features to be able to try to attempt to read the content from a file and see if there's any actual profiles existing in it. It allows me to save all of the profiles that I have currently stored back to the file, and a bunch of other helper things that allow us to be able to retrieve information from the files that you're going to study in more depth and learn how to use better and hopefully enhance and improve. And then the game itself, first of all, allows for the creation or loading of a profile when we're running it and manages all the different states that are possible with those things. Do note that we have exceptions handled in different spots throughout this code, and that we're trying to make sure that we process the different states of things failing with user input. And then the guessing game itself is here. This game is very simple, and I definitely want to see you try to integrate something with more interesting mechanics and more interesting algorithmic thinking than this. And ability to view profile stats. And so here's the main game loop, that main menu that allows us to choose from the options. We only have 4 right now. Some things that are missing that you could think about improving. First would be switching profiles. Maybe it shows you a list of existing profiles you could choose from rather than having to type in the word itself. We might want to have a view, but also a reset profile stats if you want to reset that account back to 0. You could even think about having an administrative account that can log in that allows the profiles to be managed from an administrative layer. That would be pretty cool. And I'm sure you can think of lots of other features that you could add as well. So there you go. A bit of a template for a simple program that integrates JSON strategically. Some other ideas you could work with. What if you had another JSON file that was populated with lots of information, maybe for a quiz game or a definition matching game, or a hangman game, or you get the idea. There's many, many types of games you could make, and storing all the information that game needs to work in JSON files that get pulled into your program would be wonderful to see. So there's no reason you couldn't have many different JSON files, each serving their own unique purpose within the game context. Looking forward to seeing what it is that you create, whether or not you're in my class. If you're in my class, I will have shared this file with you in our assignments. If you're not in my class, I'll see if I can get a link to you to maybe a repository of some kind. Otherwise, the code is right here on the screen. You can always pause and copy it down if you're interested in following along, getting this up and running as a kind of proof of concept, and then extending it yourself. That'd be great to see. Good luck, and hopefully in the near future, I'm able to pump out my next tutorial series this is leading towards, which is on being able to work with web APIs and being able to populate our games with not content we manually place ourselves, but with content that we pull from online sources and then we deploy strategically. So keep an eye out for the next series. And for now, have a blast.